Welcome to this TrendGuards Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a massive collision between hardware realities, breaking regulatory shifts, and exponential software breakthroughs that all literally just happened in the first week of August 2026. The specific week is pivotal. It marks the exact moment multiple isolated industry trends just slammed into each other at full speed. So, right now, TSMC manufactures over 90% of the world's most advanced AI chips. But according to recent reports, Elon Musk has teased an unconventional AI chip plant that he claims will actually be faster than TSMC. Today, we're going to strictly separate the confirmed facts from the unverified claims to understand exactly how this potential challenge to a $500 billion monopoly is setting the stage for a totally new era of AI. Okay, let's dive into this stark reality. 90%. Just wrap your head around that for a second. That is the market share that TSMC holds over the world's most advanced AI chips. Nvidia, AMD, Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, literally every single one of these trillion-dollar companies completely relies on TSMC for their critical silicon. This makes TSMC a $500 billion pillar of the entire global technology ecosystem. And the reason they hold this monopoly really just comes down to extreme complexity. Building a cutting-edge foundry, it requires decades of capital expenditure, mind-bending precision at the atomic level, and total lock-in with specialized supply chains. That's why companies like Apple and Nvidia design their chips, but they outsource the actual manufacturing. TSMC's manufacturing scale and expertise act as this massive structural moat that no one has been able to cross. But, that moat is suddenly facing a highly publicized threat. According to reports this week from CNBC, Business Insider, and others, Elon Musk teased an unconventional AI chip plan for his Tesla Optimus robots. Now, as always, we have to separate facts from speculation here. The confirmed reality is that TSMC relies on traditional semiconductor fabrication, specifically photolithography, which involves etching silicon wafers with ultraviolet light at the nanoscale. That requires massive, pristine clean rooms and production cycles that take months. Musk's claim of an unconventional and faster plan is, right now, currently just a tease. However, industry speculation points to advanced packaging or chiplet architectures. Instead of printing one massive complex chip from scratch, advanced packaging allows you to stitch smaller pre-made chip components or chiplets together. It's a clever way to circumvent traditional fabrication bottlenecks. But look, right now, a facility faster than TSMC remains an unverified ambition, for sure not a demonstrated capability. So why make this bold hardware claim at all? Well, what we're witnessing is an industry-wide panic to secure compute, and it's driving a massive move toward total in-house production. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what vertical integration looks like in the AI space. Tesla's ultimate goal is to remove all external dependencies. Step 1 is the hardware application, the Optimus robot. Step 2 is the AI model powering its brain. Step 3 is designing the custom chip, which they already do for full self-driving. But step 4, the manufacturing plant, that's the missing link. By controlling the fab, Tesla will completely eliminate their dependence on TSMC. If they succeed, it creates a closed-loop empire. They'd save billions in margin markups, completely bypass the multi-year waiting list for global silicon, and literally own the entire technology stack from the sand to the robot. And Tesla isn't the only one building a vertical empire. As exclusively reported by Reuters, DeepSeek is currently developing its own AI chip to reduce reliance on Nvidia and bypass US export restrictions. For some context here, these export restrictions were put in place by the US government to prevent the most powerful Nvidia chips from reaching Chinese firms, aiming to limit foreign AI and military development. DeepSeek, the exact same company that previously crashed market pricing with their highly efficient models, is now aggressively moving into the hardware layer to sidestep this embargo entirely. This really points to a broader geopolitical trend of deglobalization in the AI supply chain. The US gets Tesla's custom chips, China gets DeepSeek's custom chips, and that single global supply chain historically anchored by TSMC begins to heavily fracture into regional silos. This fragmentation in hardware is happening alongside an equally massive restructuring in regulation. Just yesterday, the White House confirmed sweeping new regulatory realities for the AI industry. To understand why this is happening right now, we need to trace the chronological domino effect. It started with the expansive OpenAI cyber attack, where hackers breached internal messaging systems, exposing critical vulnerabilities regarding corporate IP and model safety. That direct exposure led to 1,100 AI workers actually signing a pacing letter, urgently asking the government to help manage AI deployment speeds, citing fears of uncontrollable autonomous agentic systems. Shortly after, the landmark EU AI Act officially became enforceable law across Europe. And all of this momentum culminated this week in the White House securing a formal agreement with OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google for a newly completed frontier model security testing framework. Now, the White House describes this testing framework as voluntary, but let's look at the real-world impact. As reported by Tech Times, this is voluntary on paper, but mandatory in practice. For example, the White House separately asked OpenAI to limit the rollout of its GPT 5.6 Sol model exclusively to government-vetted partners, and the company complied. To be absolutely clear, GPT 5.6 Sol is an advanced agentic model, meaning it doesn't just chat with you, it can take autonomous actions across the web and software ecosystems. Vetted partners in this context likely means defense contractors, intelligence agencies, or highly audited enterprise clients. So what we're seeing is a tangible instance of government oversight directly dictating the product release strategies of private AI companies. With hardware fragmenting and the White House intervening, we need to look at how the broader industry is adapting. AI4 2026 hosted 12,000 attendees in Las Vegas just days ago, providing some clear structure for a pretty chaotic market through 4 dominant themes. First, AI agents are now the absolute standard, evidenced by massive corporate deployments taking priority over simple chatbots. Second, AI security is the hottest investment category to protect these agents, and that's highlighted by Sierra's $1 billion acquisition of Oasis Security. Third, open-weight models are radically shifting market pricing. DeepSeek's 44-cent model fundamentally undercut closed APIs, breaking traditional token pricing economics and turning baseline AI into a cheap commodity rather than a premium service. And fourth, AI governance is now a central business function, and that was cemented by the release of the AI Policy 100 ranking, which details the specific individuals and lobbyists who are officially writing the rules that the rest of the industry is going to have to follow. But what is fundamentally driving this frantic race for custom silicon and this desperate push for federal regulation? Well, the underlying driver is exponential, frankly staggering software capability. 10, according to research officially published by OpenAI between July 27th and August 2nd, an internal version of their next major model family, codenamed Astra, successfully solved 10 previously open problems in mathematics and theoretical computer science. You have to understand why this is such a massive leap. Traditional model benchmarks trust memorization and basic logic. Solving an open math problem, something human mathematicians have been trying and failing to solve for years, requires genuine, multi-step logical reasoning and novel discovery. It means the model isn't just regurgitating training data, it is generating entirely new human knowledge. And this brings our explainer full circle. Traditional language models simply predict the next word. But reasoning models like Astra explore vast decision trees, testing thousands of different logical pathways before arriving at an answer. This requires an astronomical amount of compute, the sheer processing power and memory bandwidth utilized during inference. If an internal model can independently solve open and math problems, the compute required to deploy these reasoning models to millions of users is going to be unprecedented, and it is poised to absolutely detonate the AI chip market. These staggering software capabilities and their hunger for compute are exactly why Elon Musk and DeepSeek are desperately trying to secure their own manufacturing pipelines right now. They know the current supply chain simply cannot support what is coming. So, the crucial point is, how do we act on this data today? Here's your authoritative summary of how to adapt based on this week's reports. For investors, the semiconductor supply chain is actively restructuring. Vertical integration by Tesla and DeepSeek threatens traditional monopolies. You really should look to diversify your hardware and silicon portfolios as the market starts to silo. For professionals, the A4 consensus is completely clear. You need to aggressively build skills in deploying AI agents and securing agentic workflows, otherwise you are falling behind market demand. And for businesses, compliance is no longer optional or something you can just push to next quarter. You must prepare your software for the White House testing framework, and if you operate in Europe, the EU AI Act is now fully enforceable, with financial penalties reaching up to 15 million euros for non-compliance. We have covered some massive foundational shifts today. The era of relying on a single global hardware supplier and unregulated Wild West software releases is officially over. But I want to leave you with a final thought to consider. As companies race to build their own hardware empires to escape the bottleneck, will TSMC's $500 billion monopoly actually survive the push for vertical AI integration? And as models like Astra transition from generating text to solving previously impossible mathematical problems, is voluntary regulation truly capable of keeping pace with the technology? Continue researching, stay focused on the facts, and thank you for joining this explainer.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.